Welcome back to another video, you lot. You know the drill. It's Wednesday evening, so another Wednesday means another 10-mile TT, another attempt to go sub 20 minutes for 10 miles. For those of you new to the channel, you probably won't know what I'm doing. A local event organizer, DBMax, I will link to them in the description below, go and check them out. They are doing a 10-mile TT at a closed circuit called Castle Combe, and because this season's kind of gone down the shitter, I thought I would set myself a goal of going sub 20 minutes for 10 miles, which I've never done before. Last week was 2040, but it was very wet. I'll link to that in the cards above, so go and check that video out. Unfortunately, I was gonna get James Hester, who's done a couple of videos for me in the past, to come and get some really nice B-roll and footage of me racing. So I know a few of you have said, like, you know, it would be nice to get some footage of you racing. I can appreciate, like, for 8 to 10 minutes, me chatting shit to you is maybe not the most enjoyable thing in the world. But unfortunately, he's not able to join this week, but I will be doing a few more in the coming weeks, and he'll be able to join then and get some really nice footage. So that's something to look forward to. One thing before I get going, I'm out on my warm-up now. One thing before I get going is I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel. Just kind of recently got over 7,000 subscribers, which is a massive for me, really. I really appreciate all of you who have been supporting from the beginning, who continue to support, new supporters out there. So just want to thank you very much. I've kind of set myself a goal. This is quite unrealistic, but going to try and achieve it, is 10,000 by the end of the year, which would be incredible. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Please support the cause. And I've got some really exciting things coming up. But anyway, better get warmed up for this 20 minutes of pain. Fingers crossed, sub 20 minutes of pain, but let's go. Gonna do about 30 minutes, easy riding. Then I'll do a prep set, which will consist of some zone 3 work to start, then build up to like sweet spot, then FTP, and then kind of try and do some race specific power, which for me will be around 350 watts. But like I mentioned in the last couple of videos, the aim is not to really ride to power, it's riding to average speed, because at the end of the day you can be the most powerful rider in the world, but you can't, you might not necessarily be the quickest. So 30 miles an hour average is that magic number to get 20 minutes. So hopefully I'm 30 miles an hour and something, just to snag under that 20 minutes for 10 miles. This evening, like, the weather looks really nice, but is very windy. Which, it could play into my favour. It's just going to mean basically that it's not a massively consistent effort. It's going to be up and down a lot. So on the tailwind sections, I'm really going to ease off, and kind of, if I get that much above 30 miles an hour, then I'll start to ease off, because then I want to make sure that I've got enough ammo in my legs to go hard on the harder sections, on the headwind sections, which are going to hurt tonight, because it's, like I said, it's very windy. So the headwind's going to hurt, the tailwind's going to be great, but as always, the headwind takes a lot more out of you, and the tailwind never feels like it gives enough. Oh damn, didn't happen again. 2022, so not even like the best I've done. Did 2008 like I said a couple of weeks ago, 2040 last week, 2022 this week. Fucking annoying. Like, just, yeah, you can't really, well, you can't predict the weather. Like, it was dry, it was sunny, but it's very windy. Like, it doesn't seem windy over here, but where the far end of the track is, you come around a corner and it just hits you like a brick wall. Power came back a little bit. Last week I was a bit off power, but generally I think that was because it was wet and horrible, so I just didn't put much power out. But This week it was back up to 358. When I got my PB it was 359, so it's much of a muchness. I'm going to interrupt this video a little bit. I'm in the studio editing the video. My parents' conservatory, whatever you want to call it. And I realised I'd given you a bit of false information there. So the ride that I just did, 20 minutes, 22 seconds. And the normalised power was 358. But my PB, which I did a couple of weeks prior to that, was 20 minutes and 8 seconds, and the normalised power was 349. So there's a 9-watt difference there, which is quite big. So that goes to show, well, there's quite a few variables that could, that could play into it. But I think that just goes to show the wind was a big factor. Like, maybe I didn't hold my position as well that week. I don't know, but I think the headwind, pushing too hard into the headwind, would have played a big role in having like a higher normalized power, but obviously a slower time overall. It was also just before you get back to watching this bell end, this grumpy twat on screen because he because he didn't get his sub 20. I was talking to Daniel Ward, who I've had on the podcast before. Actually, go and check out his channel. His channel is called Triathlon Dan. Very good athlete. Actually, no, he's not. He's shit. He's a bit of a dickhead as well. So he's kind of similar to me, so you'll enjoy him. Go check him out. But he basically summed up time trialing in such a good way. I thought I just wanted to share it with you. But TT pacing is so hard, isn't it? Go hard when it's slow, but not too hard, but make sure you go hard enough. It is literally like, that sums up time trialing for me. It's so frustrating. It's like, for those of you that haven't done any time trialing before, it's like a knife edge. The difference between going too hard and going too easy is so small, and you only know when it's too late. It's so fucking annoying. It is what it is. Like, I was down to like 22 miles an hour into the headwind, and I was putting out big watts. I was putting out over 400 watts just to hold 22 miles an hour. And when it's those kind of conditions, like, it's just not going to be quick. Even when you got a solid tailwind on some sections, and I was managing to hit like 35 to like 37 miles an hour, it's just not enough to bring you back once you've been at that like 22 miles an hour for like, a minute or so. There's just no way from coming back from that. I'll enter a few more and I'll give it another go. Give it a couple more goes,